Dismissed.
Yeah, welcome to our live stream. This is the King M.E show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
We here at the King M.E show attempt to offer a real outlook on a healthy relationship, real being relatable,
Entertaining
accountable,
and loving.
We are live March the 2nd, the first Monday in March.
Yeah.
And
good stuff.
As always,
Ooh. Hey, handsome.
You just took that as an acceptance to just get closer.
I surely did.
I like it. We're going to have to figure out some things. You got it. We got it. We'll figure it out. It's getting there. Boom. Is that better?
Yeah, it'll work.
Wait, which way? Is it the other way? Oh, I got to come this way. There we go.
We got some extra stuff in the frame. It's okay.
Word.
We're here there.
It's the first Monday of the month, which means we have a new calendar thingy that you got to do.
Yes. Why is this so difficult?
Speak up.
No, I'm talking to myself. I said, why is this so difficult to flip? All right, y'all.
That's what she said.
So here's a March. Okay,
and let me see it. Okay, random pictures of things that we did in that month.
Yeah.
What do I have a Jamaican wig on?
Oh, because that was your wig from BlurredCon.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes.
We were Frankenstein and the Bride of Frankenstein, but we did the black versions. So you had locks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. We are live a little bit earlier today as both of us have follow-on engagements here this evening. So if you're used to seeing us live at 7, sucks to be you if you're not going to be able to make it at 7, but if you're here at 5, welcome. Michelle and I, if you're new, have been in a relationship for over 3 years now. And the purpose of our live stream, the purpose of the King M.E show is to showcase and talk about modern day dating and relationships. We like to share the highs, share the lows, share the successes, share the failure, but not just ours. This is an opportunity for other people to help break the mold for what you see out there. Offer a fresh perspective, or if you've been in the relationship game with your significant other longer than 15 years, give us some advice.
Please.
Give us some advice. I'm trying to make this the last relationship that I'm in. You want to know why, though?
Why?
It's for selfish reasons. Why? I don't want to have to start over with nobody else.
I don't want to have to break nobody else.
Yeah, you got to break some, have them get used to you and all of the things that you do, both, good and bad. And if I were to, I wouldn't really break nobody else in because I'd have a series of temporary situationships.
You just started farting around me.
I did.
Last week. We've been together for over 3 years and you just started last week.
I'm telling you, I didn't want to blow you away. Y'all, today's title is entitled How to Master Chalance. It was our way.
I don't know.
Chalance.
I said Chalance. Okay, Chalance. Whatever.
It was a way of blending two words, challenge and assurance. Two things that I thought about, and I'm going to just say this very selfishly, I wanted to talk about this because one of the things that I saw, not saying that it would have happened with us, but what I did not want to hear and what I do not ever want to hear is that this relationship is boring. I've heard other men say that their ladies have said that to them.
Mm-hmm.
And from their perspective, in their eyes, these men are saying, we have a plan. And that plan does involve having to scale back on some things because we're trying to sacrifice something in the short term to have long-term success.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, while they communicate the plan, some do, some don't. Let me just say that. Some don't communicate the plan. But for those that do, some people have had some missteps with trying to communicate that plan because while they're in it, the person that doesn't see the vision gets, well, I'm bored. We don't go out and we don't do things. Both of them are working and they kind of fall into a routine, and one person thinks that when they do stuff that's different, it's not enough, and the other person's like, well, I don't know what else to do. So I wanted to talk about that selfishly. Because I can't ever hear that word. That to me, ooh, do I say that it's a one-time thing? I wouldn't say it's a one-time thing, because I think that you can hear somebody say something and you may not have thought that you've gotten into a rut or whatnot, and it can happen, but I want to try to avoid that. So let's talk about it.
Okay.
What are your thoughts when you hear me say that you've heard other men's ladies say that the relationship's bored or stale?
So I can understand where that comes from. And the reason why I say that is because I feel like some people, and this is just me trying to be respectful, I think some people, when they get together, they immediately start having kids, or they live their lives as newlyweds for however long, and then they have kids, and then after the kids leave the house and it's just the two of them, and they've built their whole lives around having kids, they feel kind of bored because things aren't as busy and as lively as they once were. So for me, I can understand why a woman would say that, because you're like 40, 50 years old, you had your kids in your 20s, your kids are now adults, they're out in the real world, and it's just you and your spouse alone for the first time in 20 years, and you realize that the person you're with now isn't the person that you were with before. And it's kind of like this whole thing of you trying to identify who you are, figure out all that stuff, all at the same time of trying to navigate this new point in your life. And I think some women do see it and they're like, I'm bored. Like, I want to go back to the way we were 20, 30 years ago, where we are, out gallivanting, doing stuff, those fun little romantic date nights that we used to sneak and have when the kids were in XYZ location. And I think that's where it comes from. However, one thing that I said about us is we're in a different position. We don't have any kids. So we're at this point in our life where we get to craft what our relationship will look like, because we don't have kids that we have to worry about, and we can just like go out and build the life that we want to have. So I think we're in a different situation. You're also with someone who, has some neurodivergence. So for me, I'm fine with just sitting at home on the couch, writing and being in my own little world. And I think not that, but I think you and how you know yourself to be, I think that scares you when it comes to me, because you don't think that I'll be okay with you wanting to spend a day sitting at home, like just gaming. And I'm like, I don't think you understand that I might look at you and be like, why are you always up and moving? Because I am someone who takes plenty of time to just sit at home and do absolutely nothing and be at peace with that. Whereas, like, when you take a day for you, you rip and run the street. And to me, I'm like, oh, that's doing too much. That's doing way too much.
Okay. You're right. I do think that way. Or it is a thought that I have had. It's not that it's on a worry list of mine. But yes, right? So while both of us are working, while we're trading time for money until we get to a point to where we're wealthy enough to be able to go out and do things, I do worry about what it means when I just got off of work and, you know, I want to sit down and game a bit. You've came home, right? We have a touch point, but then if I go and I game for a bit, are you going to be like, he's on that video game? Why is he not spending time with me? Why is he not giving me all of his attention? And that's just one example.
And so, respectfully, I can see where that comes from, but I don't know, like, as long as we're in the same place, I'm at peace with that. I am okay with us sitting on the couch together and like you're gaming and I'm doing a puzzle or I'm typing or something like that. I think it's different if we're both sitting on the couch trying to do two separate things and trying to hold a conversation with the other person. Like that's something to maybe have a conversation about, but I don't know. I'm good with just sitting on the couch chilling.
Okay.
And it's funny because you swear up and down that you don't think I can do it.
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
I don't. And like, it's nothing against you. It's nothing against you. Because here's the thing, like, I'm going to check in with you from time to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does that look like for me and what does that look like for you? Like, is it going to be enough to where you feel like, okay, he does give me an appropriate amount of his time? Like, I worry about that kind of stuff. Not, I don't actively sit down and worry about like it stresses me out, but it is something that I think about.
Okay. So, how about this? What did we do for Valentine's Day this year?
I was just coming off of an illness, so still kind of
Yeah.
sick a bit. So we stayed in and watched TV.
Okay. What were our plans for Valentine's Day?
Just that, right?
Right. And like, I was fine. Excuse me. I wasn't up in arms about it or anything like that. I was good. I like the simple things.
Okay. So to the person that wrote in Spanish, you say that you do it all the time, and to that it doesn't apply to someone who doesn't have a partner. Well, yeah, that's correct. I mean, obviously, if you're solo and you're by yourself, none of this applies to you, right? But you should consider and think about when you are trying to get into a long-term relationship with somebody, what that person's time needs are. There are some people that are just needy. Michelle is not a needy person, thank goodness. Like, there's two things. I've said that I can't be with somebody who's extremely jealous because I'm a social guy. I'll get out, I'll talk to people and things like that. And if me talking to somebody of the opposite sex is going to bother you, I can't be in a relationship with somebody that reacts that way. The second thing, I can't be with somebody that's extremely needy. You want to know how I know that? I've done that already. Have you ever been in a relationship with somebody that just consumed all of your time?
No.
Or wanted to consume all of your time?
No.
It's suffocating, let me tell you.
I'll take your word for it.
There are people that I think are okay with that because they want to feel wanted and things like that. And for those people, great. It works out for them. I can't do it.
There's a television show about that.
You know the name of it?
It's called All Her Fault or It's All Her Fault, something like that. It was good. It was one of them short little mini series. It was good.
So for those of y'all out there that are watching or listening, because we are on audio only form as well. Shout out to our Spotify listeners.
Spotify.
And those that tune in on other podcast platforms. What do y'all do, or what are your first thoughts when you hear, I'm bored? This relationship doesn't challenge me enough. We're getting stale. What do you think about my lady voice?
First of all, like you have honed in on like one little thing. You're like, I am going to hold on to this. I think what I can expect from us is that I might get bored with something, but it's not you or the relationship. Like I might get bored with my job. I might get bored with living in a particular city and may want to spice things up. But as far as like what we do and what we don't do, that sounded really good. What we do and what we don't do, like I'm good with that. I will say what I do want to see us do. A big thing for me is not living in the United States after a while. Like
Same.
I want to get out and like
we
move
are
around.
aligned with that.
We are. And if for whatever reason that changed in your opinion on that, and you're just like, no, I just want to sit down and never go anywhere
and live on a ranch in Montana.
Yeah, but like I'd have problems with that. I'd have major problems with that. Or and this goes both ways.
Okay.
If one of us had, God forbid, a major health scare, and then we're just like, no, I kind of want to be this recluse and I don't want to go out anymore. I don't want to do anything. I'm too afraid to live life anymore. That would have to be a conversation.
That would have to be a conversation, whether it was me or you that it occurred, and let me be clear. There's a difference in you have a health scare and you can't. You are physically unable to leave the country because there are limitations that you have that could cause like severe fatal things. We're not talking about that. We're talking you have something that occurred and psychologically or mentally, it scares you to want to go out and do something, so you choose not to. That's a completely different ball game. And I'm gonna say this and be clear: for as much as I love you, if it was the you to me way, I don't know if our relationship could survive that.
You know what's so funny? What's so funny is like for the past couple of days, the only thing that's been one of the things that's been sitting on my mind is, could King handle taking care of me if I were the sick person?
Yeah.
If for some reason I became incapable of taking care of myself, or the medical term invalid, would you be able to take care of me?
I could. I think I have the capacity to be able to do it.
Okay.
I could. Like, okay. I would need help, which is normal, right? I think so anyway. Like, not like help all the time, but there are like, I can raise my hand and say, I think that it would be difficult for me to be able to do it without help 24/7.
That's fair. That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
I think at the end of the day, like we have to realize that, men respectfully need to realize that if a woman is saying that she's bored, there was a big shift and she never had time to adjust. And I think that happens when people have kids young into their relationship with a person.
Okay.
Because you don't get time to know that other person.
I agree with that.
And I'm understanding that I'm not saying young chronologically. I'm saying young in terms of how long they've been together. Like, I know people who they have a child within, like, their child is born before they hit their 1-year wedding anniversary. And that means that you had no time to get to know your spouse before y'all got married. To know what it's like to live with your spouse. Like, being a parent and a spouse. That's what you know. And you learned both of them at the same time. I feel like that's very hard. And that, especially when children move out and you really don't have any children living at home, you do have to find a way to keep steam alive in your relationship. And I think that's difficult. And I think women, especially when they hit that part of their life where they're going through the change and, menopause and perimenopause is changing how they view everything. It comes in like, things just feel a little bit too stagnant. And because things feel stagnant, they look at it like, I do need something to spice it up.
I had a relative, and I won't say who, but he does watch our show.
Okay.
I had a male relative say the secret to a long relationship is to make sure that your significant other, you introduce a little bit of crazy in her life, because women don't like peace. You have to keep her on her toes. And there are elements of that I don't disagree with.
I think for me personally, not speaking for every woman in the greater public, but what I will say is I need to know that I'm still seen. Like being seen is a big thing.
What does that mean?
So for me, that means I don't want us to become like roommates. Like,
what does that mean?
I'm about to tell you. So the definition of that to me would mean I come home, you've been home. We just say hi and bye. We don't still like hug each other and kiss. We don't still have those passionate, intimate moments where, something like this, like we're cuddled up on the couch and we're touching. We only talk about paying the bills. We don't talk about like going out or doing anything. And understand that I don't mean that we have to go out and do something every single weekend or even with a regular flow of consistency, but to the point where we don't take the other person for granted. So I don't take for granted that I'm going to come home and see you every day working in your office. And you don't take for granted that I'm going to come home and cook or something like that, to the point where it's just a level of expectation and no longer gratitude for the other person doing it, being there, that type of stuff.
Okay.
Also, for me, it means that when I leave, I'm not leaving you like a to-do list or a note and, reduce all of our conversations to just notes and I don't have time to converse with you or anything like that. Like, I feel like that would be moving into a roommate status and I don't like that.
Oh, okay. All right. I got you. So you're saying like for certain situations, like if you were to come home from work and I was just butt booty naked already, that'd be like spicing it up a bit, not being in like a roommate situation, just
Yeah.
occasionally just doing something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, butt booty naked.
Oh my God.
I like that. BBN, butt booty naked. Let's see if we got any comments here. Anybody tuning in? Thank y'all for tuning in. Want to support the show? We do have a Cash App, $ the King M.E show. Let's use this as an opportunity also to tell people to check out our website, thekingandmeshow.com. We ran a giveaway.
Oh my gosh. Talk about the giveaway.
It was frustrating that I'm trying to give away money. It was a $50 Amazon gift card. To be eligible to sign up or to be eligible for the gift card, you had to have signed up for our newsletter that we are going to send out. And the newsletter, to be able to sign up, the link is on thekingandmeshow.com. It's on our website, right? I went through 5 names before I was able to get to the 6th person that was finally either like a real person or someone that checked the email that they sent for the newsletter. And we did get that person their gift card out. They acknowledged that they got it as well. So if you want to be eligible for any of our giveaways in the future, we're going to announce them primarily on the newsletter because that lets us know that people read them. Mm-hmm. We won't talk about it too much on our live stream other than to tell you, check out our newsletter for news on how to be eligible for our next giveaway. The next one's coming up soon. We've still got to iron out some things for our newsletter. But hint, hint, to be eligible for it, you have to be signed up so that you know how to be in our next drawing for our next giveaway.
Yay.
thekingandmeshow.com. Sign up for our newsletter.
Yes.
Let's see if we have any other comments before I continue here.
Yeah, because I think you had a really good question.
I did?
Yeah.
Let's see. What was that question? Let's come in here. Have you ever left a relationship because it felt boring? That's a question for the viewers and specifically for you as well. Have you ever gotten close?
Y'all know I have ADHD, right? So I perceive things differently. In my mind, I think what happened was I was always afraid of men hurting me. And I did things to provoke an ending.
Not like you almost did with me?
Did past tense, did things to provoke an ending and provoke him to break up with me. So technically, no, I've never left a relationship because it felt boring.
Technically, I see the technicality in that.
What about you?
I did because they were crazy. That person was crazy, and I just didn't see it until afterwards. Boring? No, not boring.
My dude, if you keep breaking up with people because they crazy, maybe it's not them. Maybe it's
You're right. Probably I have attracted some crazy in my life. We're not going to. You know what? I've had to change my phone number because of somebody that was crazy. Matter of fact, story time with King Smith. Shortly after my divorce, I was looking for a place to stay. Somebody advertised that they had a couch, essentially, and I needed to save money for a short-term deal. So I said, you know what? For a short-term situation, this might work out. I didn't care if it was a male or a female, but in particular, man or woman. Because you don't like female, do you? I said it earlier, and I could feel.
You could feel me staring.
How you? Yeah, I could feel you staring at me.
Okay.
But this person was a woman, and it sucks that I had to think this way. But what I did was I included my LinkedIn so that you knew that I wasn't a serial killer, right? You can see that I was a professional. I just, I was down bad shortly after my divorce. So this one person that I reached out to didn't initially respond to my inquiry. When they did, I had already found a place, and I'm thankful that that didn't work out.
Woo!
Because to make a long story short, they initially reached out on some, hey, you have an impressive resume. I didn't see this earlier, blah, 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 which was a lie. But would you be willing to meet? Now, I didn't know what this person looked like, and I wasn't really trying to look for anything like that. So I agreed to meet this person. Wasn't attracted to her whatsoever. And in the short conversation that we had, it was, to me, it was just that it was a meet, short conversation. She was looking for somebody who could be a mentor. So initially I said, cool. Turns out she wanted more. But when I told her that I wasn't necessarily looking, but I was still going out, she took that the wrong way. And to make a long story short, this person called me one time 100 times in like less than 30 minutes. My phone could not do anything because it just kept ringing. And this was before the updates are the way that they are now, where your phone could ring, but it'd be separate so you could still do other stuff in your phone.
Yeah.
And to make a long story short, I had to change my name, even when it so far as number, to try to file a police report because I was afraid that this person actually might try and do something. And that situation has ended for the most part, although they did try reaching out about a year ago on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, you never told me.
Are you sure? Because I feel as though I would have told you that.
I don't think you told me that.
They tried to reach out on Instagram under a different name, which was part of the point of me talking about, why, like, I don't want nothing to do with you. But yeah, they reached out on Instagram and tried apologizing, but I didn't respond or say anything back. I just blocked them.
Oh my God.
Again. So yeah. I've had my share of crazy. That one was the worst for somebody that I didn't even have a relationship. We didn't kiss, nothing. Barely even touched each other.
Now imagine if she had felt them lips.
If she would have felt, whoo, let me tell you. No, she might watch the show. It's not like King Smith is a hard name to find. It is what it is. And look, if you out there and you're watching this show, no hard feelings. You might be a different person now. And that's good for you. And I hope you find what you are looking for and that you and that person have a healthy, successful, long-term relationship. And I mean that. I really do. If that's what you're seeking, I hope you find what you're looking for.
Good. So, I think that's a good one for you to ask, or for me to ask you. You ready?
Yeah.
Are men, in your opinion, are they confusing peace with stagnation?
No, I think women confuse peace with stagnation. Yeah, you walk right into that question. Men can be comfortable coming home, Al Bundy, hands in their pants, and sitting on the couch and staring at a wall and be completely fine for the rest of the evening.
But that is being stagnant. Like, you're not. So let's go to the universal definition of stagnation.
Please bring it
or
up.
Stagnant.
Bring it up.
So to be stagnant, it is an adjective. It typically refers to a body of water or the atmosphere of a confined space. And it says having no current or flow, so current, water current, or flow, and often having an unpleasant smell as a consequence.
Oh,
so
okay.
again, it pertains to, it's talking about water.
All right, hold on. But I kind of see the connection already. I don't think that men confuse peace with stagnation, but I also think men don't see anything wrong with being stagnant.
Okay, so then you can say that.
In general.
You can say that men may not see anything wrong with being stagnant.
Yes.
And that's the thing. I think women do.
Yes.
So women see the stagnation. They see that there is that, you can take the literal, that there is no movement happening. There's no nothing happening week after week after week. We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything. We just sit on the couch. We don't, like, speaking of Al Bundy, like, we don't go anywhere. We don't get dressed up. We have nothing fancy. We say no to events. Like, we're not hanging out with friends. We're not doing anything. We're home every single night. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And a woman will view that as stagnation or being stagnant. And men will be like, no, like, everything's fine. Like, I'm good. I still love you. But right there, you have basically, I see the two are not agreeing. They're not in sync with one another, and that's a problem.
Shout out to Antonio Williams. Antonio said, "One love." Hey, Antonio, salute. Appreciate you tuning in. Yes, like, for example, you know how much I make.
Yes.
I am going to top out here in the next 3 years, in essentially under 3 years. And I can't make more outside of COLA raises or COLA increases.
Right.
It's still really good money. Let's say I don't have a desire to move up or become a supervisor or anything like that because I like where I'm doing. I like what I'm at. Do you view that as negative? Like, that's stagnant. I have made it to the top of my earnings for my job. Is that stagnant? And is that stagnant negative?
So I think you're asking the wrong person. And the reason why I say that is because I believe that doing what you love matters more than anything else. And because I know you, I know that you would stay in your current position because you love what you do.
Okay.
Not because you're afraid of growing, not because you're afraid of the responsibility that would come with a higher position, but because you love what you do. You love what you do and you love the perks of your job at the level where you are now. And you know that those perks do not carry to a higher position. You also know that the roles and the duties that you have don't carry to a higher position. So for you, if you made the choice to stay where you are and not to advance up, no, I wouldn't look at that as being stagnant because you love what you do. However, if you did not like what you do, if you simply tolerated what you do, and you never tried to advance up or do anything more, then yes, I would view that as stagnant. But because you love it, I don't see a problem with it.
Okay. Here's another common thing that's said. He stopped courting me. What are your thoughts from a woman's perspective about the way that men and women should view each other in a relationship and how to make it last so that it doesn't feel as though the person stopped courting the other person?
Can I be hot?
Ooh, be honest, open, and transparent.
Shout out to the real precious. Ooh, honey, you don't court me. Not fully. When we first started dating, King, I need to make up a middle name for you. I think I'm going to call you Antonio. I like Antonio. King Antonio Smith. When we first started dating, first of all, when we first started talking, when we first started dating, you used to stay up on the phone with me all hours of the night to the point where I would be getting up, going to work the next morning, and you would still be on the phone snoring. And then I would gently whisper in your ear, okay, baby, I'm at work. I'll talk to you later. I love you. Bye. And then I would hang up the phone.
I won't dispute that.
And you were none the wiser because you were already knocked out.
That was truth.
We used to do that. OMG, when that honeymoon phase ended, you just like abruptly, I don't like talking on the phone. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't like talking on the phone? You used to stay up all night with me on the phone. And then you stopped that. I'm not finished. That's point number one.
I will hold my thought.
Point number two, when we first started dating, there was the let me open up every door for you, let me pull out every chair for you, all that stuff. We sometimes do it now as like more of a jokey joke type thing,
when appropriate,
but not consistently.
Yeah, when appropriate. Like for example, the last couple of times you were already outside and things like that, and we had time, whatever. There was one time where it was raining, whatever. You just get in the car, right? When appropriate, but that stuff still happens. Do you have more?
Far between. That's all I can think of right now.
Okay, let's go back to the first one.
Y'all, he's about to dig into me. Go ahead.
No, that's truth, right? Now, at the same time, I think that I talked about this. There's a saying of how you were at the beginning should how you be throughout. And I raised my hand and say, I messed up. The reason why, I was trying to factor, hey, this is the time that I have now that I can give you because I have the time to do it. But as the relationship matured, that time gets chopped up different to where I don't have that time to do that because there are still other priorities that occur that you have to get through. So to men, she brings this up as, a funny anecdotal thing, but there is truth to it. There is truth to it. And the truth should be this. Do not overcommit yourself to something at the beginning just because you think that you should front load all of this time to flood for whatever your reason is. Like if you think, oh, I should do this because I want to see early on now if this person's worth the time. Like I could see some people doing that because they want to try to see if it's worth it to invest more significant time down the line. Like, I'm not saying that that's why I did it. I'm just saying I could see somebody saying that. I could see it being, well, hey, I think that this matters to this person, so I'll be able to do it now, but I can't sustain this. But for now, let me do it. And I think that's more of where I was at, right?
So I'm gonna dig us both out of the hole that I dug us into.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. What I will say is this. So I hear what you're saying, and I think you're 100% correct. When you're first with someone, you are trying to see if this is something that you want to invest all of your time with. If this is something that you are willing to invest your money. So kind of like what Coach Greg Adams said, your money, energy, attention, and time.
Hey.
And I think you were trying to assess that. And in your assessment, you found out, hey, this is someone that I want to be with. So since this is someone that I want to be with, we have to make some inconsequential changes right now so that we can go long term. So changes that you made or that people may make. So things that you hear, oh, well, he doesn't buy me flowers anymore. Yeah, but does he pay the mortgage? He doesn't open car doors. Yeah, but does he drive everywhere? So for me, I'll say, do you come and open every car door? You surely don't. But do you drive everywhere? Praise God. Yes, you do. Okay. I have entered full on passenger princess mode. And when I tell you it's embarrassing how much I'm like, oh, wait, I got to drive now? Like, it's a thing. So no, do you open every door? Nope, but you drive everywhere. Not only do you drive everywhere, like the physical driver, but it's your vehicle that takes us everywhere because your vehicle is better on gas mileage and it's a newer car in comparison to mine. So like that's the offset that I see. And I think that is something that we women may lose track of or, choose to forget. So, okay, yes, he's not buying you roses every week like he used to. He's not taking you out as much, but he's already told you that he's invested, that he's here for you, that he wants to spend his life with you because he's doing this, 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 and this. And I feel it is unfair to men if we discount that. So like you said, there is that level of the joke, but I see you made a choice. You made a choice like, okay, I don't have the energy for that because what I'm doing right now is I'm preparing for our future, and I respect that. So I may laugh and I may joke, but I see what you're doing, and I do respect that you are doing that for our future.
That's dope. That's dope. And see that right there, you see what's going on.
Yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Men, that's what you also need to, if you don't think, if you're hearing that you're not appreciated, don't immediately come back. But because I'm telling, I did this in the past. I did this in a past relationship where I heard you don't, and I'm over here like, TF? I can't say what I want to say. DF, depending on your slang. The F, because I'm like, but are you discounting this? Are you discounting the fact that you ain't checked your car for an oil change in 6 years? Like, what are you talking about here?
Yeah.
And that was the wrong way to come about that. You should be able to calmly observe and have a conversation. And then if that person is still being unreasonable,
mm-hmm.
you might be looking at a relationship that's failed.
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge some of the comments we had. Shout out to Michael Carasquillo, who said that it's all about the chase.
It is. Chase me. You still want me? Chase me.
Shout out to Annette Steinhoff, and I hope I pronounced your name right, that said, enter the protected space. They must have said that comment around one of the things that we said earlier. Mm-hmm. So shout out to you, Annette, for tuning in. But yes, oh my goodness, that right there, that whole, how you view things, I think it matters. And how you start the relationship. Men, be very careful the way that you court. Yes, we should do things that, like you said earlier, you don't feel like the other person's a roommate.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You still want to be attracted to the other person as well. I still want to put P and V from time to time, and you should want me to do.
Where's my pearl so I can collect them?
We've got Days of Future Past 2046 said, and I wonder if there was like a two-part to this.
Yeah. I still like the movie a lot, The Ruins.
Okay, I like the movie a lot, The Ruins. And they said, even though it's terrifying.
Okay. Thank you for commenting.
Appreciate the comment. I'm wondering if I'm missing some context on that now.
Probably. Me too. So like when I think of us, I don't think of us as getting to like that boring phase. I think of us as getting to that relaxed phase. Like you and I, we're coming into a new quarter of our life and we're finally able to just kind of relax and enjoy things a little bit more. So I think naturally things will be a little bit more low key for us. I'm good with that though. Like I look at us, and one thing that I know is that because we're moving in 2 months, we put everything that is not essential for 2026. We said we're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I view our relationship. We have decided that for 2026, unless it's essential, unless it's mandatory.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Hey, thank you.
The Ruin.
Yes.
That one is The Ruin.
Which mummy? First, second, or the third? I think people don't really talk about the third that much.
Probably because we don't remember it.
Thank you. It was like, where did that come from?
What are you talking about?
Appreciate you.
So when I think of us, like, okay, yes, we put things on hold for this year, but it's because we're trying to do bigger and better in 27. We're trying to do bigger and better in 28. Like we have goals, but that's also because we've decided to share our lives together. And I think what some women don't realize is if he's balling out of control with you at the beginning, he doesn't expect it to last.
I agree. Yes. Yes.
it's kind of like, think of it like sports and endurance. I didn't play sports in high school. You did. You know, if you come out the gate running, going, ball hard the whole time, are you going to be able to keep up that steam and that energy for the entire duration of the game? No.
Nope.
No. And any good coach would tell you to pace yourself. Pace yourself so that you can be able to last. Same thing with, like, if it's track and field and you're running. Yes, they want you to get a good start, but especially if you're going like the 400 yards or 400 meters or something like that, they want you to have stamina and endurance so that you can have that extra push to be able to get you through the end. And I think when people are in relationships and people, either one, are doing way too much in the beginning, they don't see a long-term thing with you, and that's why they're putting so much effort into the beginning, because they plan on ending it soon. I'm grateful for the way that we are, that we made a decision fairly early into our relationship to be together forever. And as soon as we made that commitment, both of us started to pull back a little bit so that we could be able to last, so that we could be able to endure. So actually, I respect you for it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
I talked about on, I think, last week's episode, where I said how I had a goal of one thing, but then as the relationship matured, I shifted the resources a bit for the relationship. But then I've since had to readjust my budget. I'm gonna say readjust my budget.
I was about to say, what? Okay.
Readjust my budget so that I could get back to that goal. And I'm not upset or anything about that. I made a conscious decision, and I did it because I liked how the relationship was. I also understood, and I need for people to understand this.
Understand.
Paul Bennett, who may not be able to watch live, he normally catches us when we're live at 7.
Yeah.
But Paul Bennett said something on Sparta HQ Network yesterday where I had asked him, where he talked about the I need a wife thing, or
the list that he had.
Yeah, he had a list like written down. This was over like 20 years ago.
Turning pages.
He had a list of what he wanted in a wife, and he would present that list to suitors essentially. And he said he made it known to people, family members, folks at work, all that jazz.
Church members, like he told everybody
that this is what his list was. And I said, that sounds exhausting, because it sounds like, the part that I'm missing in this, he also talked about how he would go out and meet people so that he could try to find somebody that was mostly compatible, that also agreed with what he was looking for.
And he would give him the list.
And I'm like, that sounds exhausting, because to me, I heard you're expending resources, and I didn't just mean money, because time is a resource. But for him, the time was worth the investment, because whether or not it was a first date or a coffee thing, or he even talked about how he would say, hey, let's go to Waffle House. But if Waffle House wasn't something that you were interested in, you would get discarded quickly. So one of our producers talked about a date night idea, or a date idea. So from time to time, because of us being in media, we get invites to movie screenings or other events or things like that. And yes, I would like for us to take opportunity. We can't do it on Mondays, obviously, because this is when we go live.
Difficult. Yeah.
But on other nights, absolutely. And I appreciate our station manager. Shout out to Michael Carrasquillo. He is the W.T.F Nation radio station manager, which, for those of y'all that are tuning in on the King M.E show, we're simulcasting on like 10 different platforms right now across Facebook, YouTube, but not just our stuff. We are in partnership with both Creation Station on Patreon and WTF Nation Radio on their platforms. WTF Nation Radio is one of the largest media platforms that service our nation's veterans and people like that. Speaking of our veterans, shout out to them, because there's some stuff going on around the world right now, and not veterans, but people that are currently still serving, and we just want to acknowledge the men and women that serve our nation's armed forces.
Yes, thank you. Are we still on Perry Productions?
Yes, and we're also streaming on Perry
Okay.
Productions as well. Now we have a short time that's left here, and I want to acknowledge a question that I asked. I had asked people on my personal Facebook page
Yeah.
about what they recommend for couples to not get bored, to not get in that bored phase.
Yeah.
But we had the caveat. We wanted people that were A, in a long-term relationship, and B, were essentially empty nesters.
So they had kids at one point, but those kids are now grown and no longer in the home. It was very specific, which is why, like, maybe, you know, Michael didn't get that question, because we wanted to go specifically to people who, you know, fit that criteria. And what did you get?
I'm going to summarize what they said because they commented on our page, but then I thanked them for responding in a private message. And how he summed it up was this: it's all a mindset. When you are with somebody that you like or love, not just love, it's never a dull moment.
Oh, I like that.
You look forward to each day and hate disturbances that interfere with that.
Can you get that like tattooed on you somewhere or something?
You can put it on a shirt.
I'm saying. Like, that's how I feel. Like, and I don't understand why you don't understand anything.
So for those of y'all that are out there listening, if you haven't contributed yet, put down in the comment section, what do you recommend?
Yes, please.
For your relationship so that you never have to hear, I'm bored.
OMG, that I'm bored.
And it said like that too in the head. I'm bored.
I'm gonna wait till we're on the beach next time and I'm just gonna say it. No, you know
I'm
what?
gonna door blink you and just stare at you like this and then apply sunscreen and turn the other way.
When we're driving, when we're navigating the States for my birthday, or probably when we're on the airplane going out there, I'm gonna look at you and be like, look from the window to you and be like, King, I'm bored.
Know what? Know when you should do it?
When?
You should do it day 2 of at Turks and Caicos.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
We have, I'll just say, we have an all expense trip that we're saving up on, which is why we talked about earlier. People are saying, man, y'all are out, y'all are doing a lot of things. I see you in New York, and then you're in Texas, and you're in Canada.
Like my cousin said, we don't let the grass grow under our feet, okay?
And we did a lot of that, but because of us moving in together and essentially starting from scratch.
With everything.
With everything.
Everything. From we have to buy a bed. We have to buy a microwave. We have to buy a washer and dryer. We have to buy couch. He has a desk. I have something that I use for a desk. I
better hear us say it did in a bedroom. Yo.
we have to start from scratch. So we don't have any furniture whatsoever for our home. Well, nothing that is going to be of use. Like, I have a bookshelf. That's not going to help us, right? He has an armoire. That's not going to help us. He has a desk. That'll help him because, you know, he works remotely, but we are starting from scratch. So as we're going through that, like I said, we have intentionally declined a lot of things for this year. We are going to have a Friendsgiving. So our friends and family, our family, please look out for that invitation. And y'all know me, that invitation will come out in September. So like, I want no excuses. You better add it to your calendar. It's not even to save the date. Like, it'll be an invitation with the actual address and what you need to be able to get onto our property. Make sure you're looking out for that.
Because guess what? We're going to be living in a place with armed security, baby.
Armed security. So
and that's not even a joke.
That's not a joke. So make sure you have a valid driver's license. But we will send you all that. We will send you all that information come September. But like, when we say we're starting from scratch, we're starting from scratch. So think of everything you need when you moved into your first home. We're going to need like all of that, down to like mops, like everything. So we pulled back from everything. We said we couldn't commit to a lot of things this year. I think this year I have one business trip. We have a wedding that we're going to.
Not ours.
Not ours.
Sorry.
Sorry. You're right.
I wanted that as an opportunity, as a joke. People are like, wait, a wedding? Y'all getting married? Not ours.
You know, you have an opportunity to go somewhere. We're going somewhere for my birthday, and this was a tough decision to make. It's my 40th birthday, and King felt like it did need to be celebrated.
Can we do your birthday and the Friendsgiving?
Yeah.
Did we already plan that through?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, continue.
So yes, we got this. Because we'll be able to cook and pull things off. It'll be fine. We're good.
Continue.
So we have all of that happening this year. So let me tell you, Christmas, we sitting down. Like, we are sitting down. There's nothing. Like, again, do not call us up and say, oh, hey, King Michelle, we should come over your house for Christmas. You surely can, but make sure you bring the food. Make sure you bring the decorations.
We'll have the entertainment.
Ourselves. Like, we'll be laughing and joking and we'll laugh, but
some Uno and Phase 10 cards.
Right. But make sure you bring everything else, because we're not doing anything for Christmas. We're doing the Friendsgiving, and we're just gonna make that work. But like, other than that, everything you ask is a no. It's a no.
Shout out to Chris Payne on WTF Nation Radio. Said, hey guys, Chris, I gave you a salute earlier, but in case you did not see it, let me acknowledge you for taking the time to engage with us.
Thank you.
Appreciate you tuning in. And all of that's being done as we prepare. We're going to have an all expenses paid trip to Turks and Caicos with a couple of other couples here next year. Hopefully between then and now, all of these couples remain couples. Doo-doo.
Why would you say that?
Hey, life be lifing. I'm just saying, life be lifing. But we need to wrap up here because we have a hard stop.
Yeah, we both have places that we got to be in like 30 minutes.
Let me take a look to make sure that we covered everything. You know, for me, I can't ever say that in my life I've ever been bored, because I like the periods of nothingness. I look forward to those periods of nothingness. And I think that's why I've had this thought, because I know that I'm okay with periods of nothingness. But when you're talking about spending a life with somebody else, can y'all's period of nothingness sync together and be okay? And I think that's what made me like, because I've never heard it, or I don't think, because my memory is bad too, that I've ever heard it from somebody else to me in a relationship. But I've heard it so many times in other relationships that that's the number one thing that like scares me.
And I think for me, the number one thing that would scare me is if at any point in time we lost our intimacy. Like, our spontaneity, okay, fine. But if the intimacy faded, that's where I would have like big problems.
Okay.
Let's cuddle up on the couch, babe.
Let's end the show and get naked.
Spontaneity and intimacy. Okay.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the King M.E show. Let's check to see if we have any other comments here. All right, we have no additional comments. Next Monday,
we're back at 7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time Zone. If you are tuning in with us and you haven't hit the like button yet, do us a favor, mash that like button. For those of y'all that are catching us on Spotify or any of the audio-only podcasts, thank you.
Me blowing a kiss to me.
Do not forget to check out thekingandmeshow.com and sign up for our newsletter so that you have the information on entering our next giveaway.
Yes.
And to keep things spontaneous over there, we're not going to announce what the giveaway is, but the last time it was a $50 Amazon gift card. So we don't just give away little pins or little trinkets.
Trinkets, yeah.
Trinklets sound like it should be a word.
It does.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. I'm King.
I'm Michelle.
And we out.
See ya.
Peace. For WTF Nation Radio people, stay tuned for the Monday edition. I know y'all going to have a lot to talk about. Let's do that again.
Love you, baby.
I just want to touch your lips. All right. We out.
Bye.
Whole lot of PDA.